What's considered a good weapon in Halo Infinite? In this video, we're going to find out what's the best and the worst weapon in Halo Infinite. After spending long hours grinding the game and completing the campaign, grinding the battle pass to tier 100, and eventually crawling my way up to Onyx, I realized that the Mangler should not be nerfed. Just kidding, that's for a whole nother video. The first weapon on this tier list is the Assault Rifle. Being one of the most iconic weapons in the game, the Assault Rifle is a great mid to close range weapon. It's best to pay close attention to your reticle while shooting this weapon. If you go to the weapon drills in the academy and attempt the 3-star challenge for the Assault Rifle, you're almost required to burst at some of the enemies to effectively keep your reticle on the target and achieve the 3-star score. This of course translates to actual multiplayer. If you're at mid-range, you don't want to just spray the player. You want to shoot with a burst pattern that will allow you to consistently hit them and keep a constant stream of damage. Doing this while aiming at the head will result in a fairly quick kill. With that being said, I'm going to place the Assault Rifle in the A tier. Next on the list we have the BR-75. Even though the battle rifle is a mid to long range weapon, it's basically good at all ranges. Picking this gun up in any kind of non-ranked match puts you at a great advantage because you can outshoot the basic assault rifle. Not only that, when encountering close quarter gunfights, the battle rifle can still come out on top, going against even the best close range weapons. For this, I gotta put the battle rifle in the A tier. Next up, we have the VK78 Commando. Now this gun is a gun that I really have a love-hate relationship with. Sometimes it feels like it doesn't confirm kills, other times it does. I want to say though, it does have the headshot multiplier, so once that shield is knocked off, if you're actually aiming at the head, you're going to do a good amount of damage. With that being said, I think this gun deserves to be in B tier. It's not the best, but hey, it gets the job done sometimes. Next up, we have the Shock Rifle. Now the Shock Rifle is a gun that heavily relies on precision. Obviously, it's a sniper rifle, but if you actually land these precision shots, you actually can spread the damage to other opponents. Having the one-shot headshot ability and being able to spread damage, I believe this puts the Shock Rifle in the B tier. Next, we have the MK50 Sidekick. So this is a mid to close range weapon. Believe it or not, if you knock the enemy shield off and aim for the head, it has one of the quickest kill times in the game, and it's actually a really good weapon. You really don't start off with that much ammo because it's not made to be a primary weapon. With that being said, I'm going to place the Sidekick in the B tier. Next, we have the Mangler. Now, the Mangler is a weapon that I mentioned before, and yes, I can make a whole video on just the Mangler, but I want to say that the Mangler is not a overpowered weapon. Just like with the Heatwave, just like with the Bulldog, it takes one shot, then a melee, and it guarantees a kill. Now, I get that this gun is distributed a lot more often than the Bulldog and the Heatwave, but at the same time, this gun is evenly distributed on each side of the map, so I don't think it needs a nerf. If anything, you can change the spawn times of the Mangler, but I think it should stay the way it is. I still think the Mangler deserves an A tier spot. I feel like it just missed the S tier spot. Next, we have the Plasma Pistol. The Plasma Pistol is a gun that really changed this time around in Halo. It doesn't disable vehicles. We have the Shock Rifle, Disruptor, and the Shot Grenades for that job now, but the Plasma Pistol is still a good tool to get rid of shield. A fully charged shot from the Plasma Pistol can help you defeat an overshield opponent or just to simply confirm kills. The best strategy to use with the Plasma Pistol is to fully charge a shot, land it on an opponent, and then switch to whatever secondary you have on hand. This usually results in a quick kill. Also keep in mind, long as your reticle is red, the Plasma Pistol will do slight tracking on your opponent. I think the Plasma Pistol deserves a C spot. Next on the list we have the Ravager. Now as you can see, it doesn't do that much damage, but I've noticed in normal quick play matches that it's actually very possible to get kills. So you can charge it up, get a melee, this would guarantee a kill, but I would not pick this gun up in rank. Most likely if you're playing rank, people will know exactly how to avoid this weapon. Even when you charge it up and it does the area effect. Halo has so much movement in the game, this makes it very easy to dodge that area effect, and it doesn't do that much damage anyways. With that being said, I'm gonna have to put the Ravager in the D tier. It's just not the best weapon. Next on the list we have the Pulsed Carbine. This weapon shoots very slow, but one attribute that it has is it tracks slightly. If the reticle is red, it will slightly track your opponents, making it very easy to hit your target, but you have to be at a specific range for this to work. If you're too close or too far away, this gun is basically useless. Although if you get one burst in and either switch to a different weapon or get a melee in, it's pretty effective that way, but I don't think it's that great of a gun overall. It's very situational, and for that, I'm gonna have to put it in the C tier. Next, we have the Disruptor. You really want to make sure you have teammates around when you use this weapon. It's not made to kill people. It's made to destroy shield and to disable weapons, so I have to give it a bonus for that. It has a lasting effect on enemies after you shoot them for a certain amount of time. Great for taking away shields, not great for confirming kills. So with that being said, I'm going to place it in C tier. Next, we have the Hydra. Now the Hydra is a gun that is perfect for taking out vehicles. Not so great for taking out players. It takes about 4 rockets to actually kill a player. The Hydra tracks the enemies for you, but it's not a guarantee that these rockets are going to hit. They're actually very easy to dodge, but if you catch an unsuspecting enemy, you can definitely guarantee some kills with the Hydra. The alternate mode is also great, especially when you need to engage in close quarters, but there is some travel time on the rockets, making it really hard to land shots, and the Hydra doesn't do that much damage as it is. So with that being said, I'm going to place it in C tier as well. Next, we have the Sentinel Beam. Now the Sentinel Beam is a gun that I've loved using since Halo 3. Now this time around, it's actually a very capable weapon that's made to destroy shields, but it's very possible to kill people with this weapon. Very effective up close, not the most reliable in my opinion, which is why I want to put it in C tier. Next, we have the Heatwave. Now the Heatwave is a gun that I actually love. If you can actually line up the reticle the right way in the vertical sight, it only takes 2 shots to kill people. And if you land 1 shot and get a melee, you can also guarantee kills this way. Similar to the Bulldog, but not exactly the same. So for the Heatwave, I'm going to place in A tier. The Bulldog, I have the same attitude. You have the similar play style with this weapon, but I'm going to place the Bulldog in B tier. I believe the Heatwave has 1 more tier over the Bulldog, simply because you can actually do damage at a further range with the Heatwave, and the bullets ricochet. You can alternate the fire mode. You have a lot more aspects helping you out during gunfights with the Heatwave. Next, we have the Needler. The Needler is a gun that actually got slightly nerfed as a whole. In previous Halos, the Needler's needles traveled a bit faster, and this would allow you to get the kills a little quicker. The needles travels pretty slow, but it's still decent. You got to think of the Needler as more of a defensive weapon. It's a very situational weapon, but I like to use it mostly in defensive situations. For example, let's say you're defending your flag on capture the flag. That would be a great time to use the Needler. But if you're close range in general with the Needler, it's a pretty decent weapon, but mainly when you're on defense. When you're on defense and have people coming towards you, they have to come towards the needles. You're not trying to chase them down and make the needles travel to try to catch them. He's coming to you, you're playing defense, and it's a lot easier to get kills with the gun that way. With it being so situational, I think it deserves a B tier spot. It's a great weapon, but if you're at long range or even mid range, it's basically useless. Next, we have the Stalker Rifle. Now the Stalker Rifle can actually kill in 3 shots if you land all your shots. It's a very capable weapon. Considering that it's not a actual kinetic weapon, it's still good at confirming kills. It's your standard semi-automatic rifle that does decent damage. So with that being said, I'm going to place it in B tier. And lastly, as you can see, we have all the power weapons in S tier. Every single one of these weapons, I believe, deserves a S tier spot, simply because it's not hard to get kills with any one of these weapons. Let me know your thoughts on the tier list. If you stayed this far in the video, I really appreciate you watching till the end, and I'll see you in the next video.